Hi loves, my name is itstyreneee and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about something completely different than what I usually talk about on my channel. You guys always see me talk about Kingdom Hearts and Disney princesses, but today I'm going to be sharing with you my review on the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I recently just finished my first playthrough of this game, and as soon as I finished this game, I knew I just had to make a review and share my thoughts and feelings about everything that I experienced. Before I get into what I want to say about this game, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on all social media platforms in the description box down below. Now let's go ahead and get into this review. I do want to make a disclaimer before I say what I really want to say, is that I've never played the original. I know it says in the title, but I still feel the need to say this in the video. I am not familiar with Crisis Core or Avid Children. I only know a few important details from the original and Crisis Core, but other than that, I don't really have a full aspect of what takes place in all of Final Fantasy VII as a whole. I kind of sort of will be mentioning spoilers, so if you're going through your first playthrough or you're planning to play this game yourself, then I kindly suggest to please click off of this video. The only other way I'm really familiar with Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy in general is through Kingdom Hearts. Early last year, I was introduced to this remake, but I knew of it beforehand because that's all I saw on my timeline on Twitter when we were on lockdown back in 2020. However, it was last year when I had really experienced it myself. Usually when I'm done with playing a video game or watching a TV show or even listening to an album, I like to look at reviews of what other people have to say about it. And to my surprise, it turns out a lot of people aren't really too happy about it. It's kind of weird to me because I'm on Twitter a lot, and I really thought that a lot of people love this game, but outside of Twitter, there's a lot of people who say that this remake doesn't really live up to the original. I can't really put my input on that because, once again, I've never played the original, and this is also my first Final Fantasy game I've ever experienced, so this experience is really meaningful to me. Now, I will say my favorites are off the bat. My favorite character is Tifa Lockhart. My favorite chapter is Chapter 9, hands down, without a doubt. I'm not too sure about my favorite boss fight quite yet, so I'm going to have to really replay this game to figure out what that is for myself. But my favorite soundtrack in this entire game is A Solemn Sunset from Chapter 15. Oh my God, as soon as I heard that, I instantly had to look it up on YouTube and listen to it with headphones. That song is so beautiful, and really, honestly, beautiful is an understatement. I can't really think of another word to describe that song, but that's my favorite soundtrack off of this entire game. The pacing of this game is decent. Each chapter serves a purpose, and it really doesn't feel like filler. There are fun moments here and there with like Cloud dancing at the Honeybee Inn, and even Tifa having a lifting contest just to let you get a break from the main storyline, as it can sometimes be a lot to take in. The combat system actually took me a while to adjust when it comes to attacking. I'm used to pressing the X button to attack my opponents in other games, but I got comfortable easily using the square button. I really enjoy, however, like whenever I need to use magic or use a special attack, it technically slows down like the gameplay itself, and it gives me time to really pick and choose what I need to do. And it's really helpful for me to rotate between the four of them to attack the enemy. It not only helps me use different combats, but switching back and forth kind of helps distract the boss if you really think about it. The main cast was written nicely for them to come off all as likable. Never had a moment with where Cloud or like Aerith came off as like annoying or just etc. I plan on making a video essay on one particular character, so keep your eye out for that, and I can't wait to get into that. Neither of the four were written without flaws, of course, but they weren't written to the point where they were just easy to hate on. But unfortunately, for what I've seen, some aren't really favored than others. But at the end of the day, I really did enjoy these characters and following their storylines, and I can't wait to see more of them in the next games of the remake. I know there are some parts in the game where different things can happen based off of what you choose, like Tifa's clothing in Chapter 9, and you can get like different scenarios and different situations. So I'm definitely gonna have to play that game to get different scenarios. One thing I'll say about the storyline as a whole is that it really hits home because of what's going on in our society today. And I won't really get into too much because I like my channel to be an escape from reality, just from the things that I talk about on my channel, whether it's watching the movie or playing the game. But everything about the concept of Final Fantasy VII really ties in what goes on in present day. And you can really just compare with what's going on in Final Fantasy VII, what's going on in our real world. One thing that kind of ticked me off a bit was that there were moments that boss fights were back to back without having a chance to really save my progress. Chapter 17 and Chapter 18 are prime examples of this, but I will say I'm appreciative of how there's particular scenarios where the HP and the MP is restored automatically once you reach to a certain point, and even some moments where the pause screen would come up giving you the chance to upgrade your equipment and change your materia if needed before resuming to your gameplay to take up to the challenge of the boss fight. Now, I remember last year I asked on Twitter if Sephiroth was harder in Kingdom Hearts or in Final Fantasy, and everyone was saying that he's harder in Final Fantasy, so that really made me anxious once I reached to the finale. But once I reached to the final boss fight of this game, I'll just say that I have more of a challenge with Hell House and Arsenal. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I do have a couple of questions on certain things. But I think it'll be covered in the next installments of the remakes. I look, I'm not gonna ask because I don't want to accidentally embarrass myself and ask the question when the answer might be in the original game. Long story short, I love this game, and as soon as I completed this game, I automatically felt like of an attachment to it. I'm definitely going to be replaying this, and I think I'm going to list this as one of my comfort games as mine. I will definitely be playing Integrate soon, and I will be buying the second part of this 3-part story being told. I'm already obsessed, and there's nothing else to it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't know what else to say about it. But that is actually going to be it for today's video. Thank you for watching and listening to my review. Please follow me on all social media platforms and subscribe to my channel for more content. What do you guys have to say about Final Fantasy VII Remake? And are you excited for what's to come in the future with the remake trilogy? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.